You already know what your dream life looks like. The question is, are you acting like the person who lives it? This video, we're going to be talking about a couple of steps to get you into that process of both thinking and being the person that you really want to be. So let's get right into the video. Let's do a quick little exercise. For step one, picture yourself 1 year from now. What are you doing? What does your routine look like? Who's around? If you don't visualize what you look like 365 days from now, it's easy to look the same way 365 days from now. This was something that I did not take seriously for a really long time. And then I realized this is exactly why I'm not seeing what I want to see on my Pinterest board respond in my daily life. You can't work towards what you can't see. And that vision, that dream that you have, it's not just about gluing some pictures from Pinterest on a styrofoam board on January 1st. It's truly about showing up and truly about seeing yourself wearing the clothes in the career that you want to be in. It's truly about seeing the people that are around you that give you more ideas to be better than you were yesterday, or the people around you that you're making an impact on. You've got to be that granular about visualizing your future self. So what that can look like is creating a list. What that list can entail is not only what you're wearing and who's impacted by your work positively, but that also looks like, how are you eating on the day-to-day? Are you still waking up in the morning and just kind of rushing to work, or not eating breakfast, or getting takeout 4 out of the 7 days of the week and not saving? Do you still have those habits that are hurting you, or have you already built new habits that are really helping you? So that can look like meal prepping on Sundays. That can look like meal prepping the night before if doing it for the full week is too much. What does that checklist of a routine, habit, lifestyle look like for you? I say this with so much urgency because sometimes we let life pass us by so quickly that we don't even realize weeks or even months have passed by, that we realize we haven't really done anything to help ourselves. We're still just continuing to show up in circumstances and environments that we don't really want to be in. You know what I mean? What I've started to introduce is the anti-habit list. The anti-habit list is a list of 3 behaviors that you need to cut out today in order to see you tomorrow. You tomorrow is subjective. That could be a year from now, 6 months from now, whatever that looks like. And so the 3 habits that could look like for you is, I need to stop eating out 5 days out of the week if I want to see my money continue to grow, if I want to see different things physically for my body. The second thing that could be is, I need to stop going out every weekend with people I don't even really like spending time with. Sometimes you have to be honest with yourself and realize, even though I have a social life, I don't like the life that I'm living socially. And you've got to have that truth session with yourself of do I really like the things that I'm doing every weekend? Do I like when $100 leaves my bank account? Do I like the people that don't make me feel good about myself? You really got to be real. And then that last anti-habit could be the money I am recklessly spending on shopping, on food, on experiences that I'm not planning for, that are not supporting my dream life. What can I reduce so that I can actually start seeing the things that I really want to see for myself? That's 3 ways that you can start, which I feel like all of us at some point have or will eventually find ourselves in our lives, and then we'll be able to make better decisions after coming to that realization. That kind of feeds into step number 2, which is to reverse engineer your habits. What would your future self never do? What habits did they have to let go of to get there? Those are the 2 questions you have to ask yourself, because if the answers to those still are relevant to you a year from now, maybe, just maybe, that future you isn't as fully defined as you'd like them to be. So you may know that you want to build the next app, but what does that person look like? What kind of team is around you when you're doing that? What does your social and relaxation life look like? What does your work look like when you are in it, when you are focused on building that app or making that content or building that business, whatever that looks like for you? What are you like in all facets, not just in building the thing you want? Step number 3, build your identity bridge. Your habits become your identity, and your identity shapes your outcomes. It is absolutely no other way around it. If you wake up every day with only 5 minutes left to get to work, you are always going to feel like you're rushing, and it's always going to feel like nothing is ever organized for you. That's the habit that you create, and those outcomes are that you feel disorganized, or that you feel like you just don't know what's going on in life all the time. Those are little things that happen in our day that become big things in our life. What is one decision today that's aligning with who you are becoming, not who you've been? This is probably the hardest question to answer and act on, because it involves being truthful about what you haven't been doing and showing up for yourself as, but it also involves doing something outside of your comfort zone. That one decision that aligns with who you're becoming may be, I can't go out but once a week and every month if I want want to see my financial goals grow, if I want to pay off my student loans, if I want to buy that car, that house, that apartment, like whatever it is for you, something has to give now to reap the benefits of it later. And it's not something that we're all really willing to give up half of the time. Like that instant gratification is what you're giving up. And in a world where social media is so at our fingertips, where we're so ready to just like order on DoorDash and the food is here in 20 minutes, everything is quick. So our dreams, when we don't see them quickly, we're like, hold on. What's going on? Why haven't I seen this yet? And sometimes it's just kind of like backing up and seeing from a wider lens, what can I do and think about differently that's gonna help serve me later in life? Step number 4, schedule a weekly check-in with your future self. This is kind of almost like, you can do this in many different ways. You can create a video diary, similar to how you consume content on YouTube. You can set up your phone and you can meet with yourself this upcoming Sunday. And you can say, okay, me now, how do you feel? What have you done this week? What do you want to see next week? What do you want to see this month? Maybe just go as far as 30 days if it's hard for you to really start and stick with it. After that, next Sunday comes, and then now you're thinking about having another meeting, so on and so forth in the future Sundays or whatever day that you decide. And that way you're meeting with your future self. Did you check off the things that you said you would do that day and that week? And if not, you know that you're not really heading into the path of what you'd like to see your future self do. So how can you rework what you're not doing into what you need to do to see who you want to become? 15 minutes is all it takes. If you did align with your dream life, what's another step forward that you can take that makes you feel even more aligned with that goal that you're trying to get to? And if you didn't, what's something that happened that prohibited you from it? Because sometimes seeing that over time can help you realize this is a pattern that needs to stop, or I'm not going to see what I want to see. Step 5 is an eye-opener, the legacy test. If someone watched a highlight reel of your week, would they see the trailer of your dreams or the blooper reel of your old habits? A moment of silence, because 9 times out of 10, if we're not doing what we know we should be doing, it's the blooper reel. But don't worry about that, because getting to the trailer of your dreams means implementing some of the steps that we've already talked about. It may seem like a lot in showing up for yourself every day when people aren't showing up for you, or when it's hard, or when life just happens. It can be easy. But the reality is that no one else is gonna do it but you. And so if it's not enough to show up for yourself, you have to be okay with where you're at right now. But if it's not, you have to find it within you to truly push yourself out of that mentality of this is just how it's going to be and I try but it fails. That is life. All the successes you see of people right now to this day is just the fact that they continued showing up, and that someone somewhere saw it and loved it, or they saw it in themselves and loved it and decided that was enough to keep going. Because that external validation, it's not necessary. It's really that internal validation of like, I showed up for me today and it was hard and I didn't know everything I needed to know, but I did something towards it. And then I'll wake up tomorrow, God willing, and do more towards it as well. Step number 6, create an environment that matches your dream life. You gotta, 1, be careful with your words, because I hear a lot of things like, oh, this is so chaotic, my life is just crazy. Like, be mindful of the words that you're speaking of your life and the words that are being spoken over your life, both in comedic moments with friends or in like secret truths with frenemies or people that you're not necessarily too fond with. Like, be mindful of that and do an energy audit and check out if it's not really something that you feel is positive towards your life. That includes unfollowing energy draining accounts. I'm not going to name names, but there are some accounts on social media that are just social newsrooms that give you so much information every single day that over a period of time, that alters the way you start showing up and thinking about the world, because it makes you think everything negative is happening or something crazy is always going on. So you may associate that with the chaoticness in your life when it's really not in your life. You're just choosing to follow things that you may not even notice are hurting yourself mentally. To get away from that, you can set up focus playlists, wallpapers, little reminders throughout your day that are so subliminal that you wouldn't even recognize. Sometimes it is creating a phone lock screen where it says, I attract the things that I want. I trust God's plan for my life. I know I am becoming them. I'm becoming that person that I see for myself. Maybe it's a collage of all the things that you really see for yourself, for your life. Sometimes they're posters, they're laptop back screens, literally kind of anything that can help you see it every single day to remind you subconsciously, this is what I'm working towards. I cannot get off path. In your physical space, clear everything out. You cannot think clearly in a messy environment. That's both in your mind and physically. And so if your desk has all these things on it that you haven't really cleaned up in months or weeks, it is going to be so easy for you not to think about things that could be better for your life, things that you could truly see differently for your life. That can be maybe even creating a creation corner. So it may not be your work desk, or it may not be your home environment or your work environment, but maybe there's a place where you can go to time and time again that is like your own little place where you can create and ideate with no distraction. Just what you want to see, pen to paper, onto a screen, onto a canvas, whatever that looks like for you, onto an app. Your environment should remind you of where you're going, not where you're escaping from. And lastly, step number 7, start talking like the person that you're becoming. Like I said earlier and a couple steps ago, language can program the mind. Are you speaking from your limits or your legacy? Change it from I want to I will, or I hope to I am. Like even sometimes when you're learning things and you're like getting out of your comfort zone, you can say things like I'm so bad at. Change that to I'm learning how to. Like if you consistently speak those things over your life, you're gonna realize you're just becoming them, not they're so far away, I'm chasing them. And it's easy for us to say those things when we are nervous or embarrassed or, unsure, uncertain about who and how we're gonna show up in this next version of ourselves. But if we don't do it now, no one else will do it for us. At the end of the day, Mel Robbins did say it best. I'm sure maybe she got it from a book. I don't know if this is her own coin term, but no one is coming to save you. In that sense, no one is coming to save you from yourself as far as if you show up for you, how much you show up for you. If you've been following on this channel for a while, you know that faith in me, we go like this. God, he ultimately draws my path. However I show up for myself consistently every day, that's great. But he may put me on a path differently that I may not have thought about for myself, or I may be right on track. I just needed to show up consistently. So I have belief that what I'm doing is tailored towards whatever my purpose in life is. However, I'm also open to knowing that God can show me that there are different seasons of my life where I am showing up differently, or where I am doing something for someone else where it's still the main character of my life, but I may be someone's supporting character to help them get to where they're trying to go too. So I'm open to how things may show up in the way that God is having my purposes kind of just happen. I started this YouTube channel and I didn't think it would be what it is today. I'm so grateful, seriously, for all, as of right now, I think 5,200 subscribers that I have today. Thank you for spending even a fraction of your day with me and wanting to show up for yourself, because all the content that I'm creating not only is a reminder to myself, but it's a reminder to you that you just need to wake up some days. You just need to really consistently show up. And on days when it's hard, I hope you open up a video of mine and think, you know what? Yup, I'm not waiting anymore. I'm not gonna stop now. I didn't come this far just to finish now. And some days they're just gonna be, I hear you, I might come back to it, but at the very least, a seed was planted. And that's all that matters for me. I hope these steps really helped you start reframing and rethinking some things in your life, the people, the way that you speak about yourself, the way you see what could be for you. Don't live in a lack or poverty mindset, because poverty is not very rarely ever about just money. Sometimes you can grow up thinking that less is always meant for you, and it doesn't mean more is always for you either. It just means don't limit yourself based on your experiences, because you haven't experienced everything yet. I know for a fact that if you show up consistently, trust God, and truly believe that you can see what you see for yourself, you are going to feel like that version of yourself that's on that Pinterest board or in that prayer journal. Do not give up now. There will always be times where life is going to humble you, but you got to fight back hard and know there's so much more, and my story is not finished yet. So I hope this gives you a little bit more perspective into where you're trying to build your dream life at. But at the end of the day, know that it comes down to faith, consistency, and belief. I'll see you guys on the next episode of Party of One Podcast. Peace.